So, Carmine, did you hear about George R. R. Martin at the Hugo Awards?
I, I I heard about it, but only from one source, and I'm so hesitant to discuss this because it's so
S-
clickbaity. But
It's
I feel like
really
it.
clickbaity, and actually,
Uh,
the problem is our clickbaity society, and how real journalism is dying, and clickbaity journalism is like replacing it, and that's the main problem here is lazy people at their computer doing a story versus a reporter actually going out in the field and interviewing people and going to sources and doing due diligence.
hmm
Um, and that's the major problem and it's the big problem with the world. Like, it used to be you go online and be like, oh, what's going on in the country of Algeria? And we could find that information. Now we go online and it's like Kim Kardashian did this on Twitter, said this, and it didn't go well for her. And then they like post people's responses. And you're like, how is this news? Like, you lazy fuck, you did this all from your computer. Like, you never had to leave the house and do real research. And that's what this is. It's lazy, clickbaity people causing problems and likely really hurting George R. R. Martin's feelings, which is too bad.
So on the topic of clickbait, real quick, I
Yeah.
just wanted to say this is what happened a couple of years ago, and this is why we have the yellow dollar sign conundrum that most of us YouTubers got hit really badly with. It's because I think it was the New York Times did an article on how PewDiePie is the racist, and he's not. If you've seen any of his videos, even when he was like, doing all that racy stuff, he was doing it as like satire and, as a joke. The guy's not actually a racist. And I think we're all so quick to point out who's racist without really looking at context. And I
Yeah.
think this is a major thing
No, I mean,
here.
I think a lot of people think that if they're the one calling out the racism, that they're somehow not a racist. That somehow, like, it's not that we shouldn't call out racism when it is actually there. We should. But I think too often people are worried that they're racist, and they think that the easiest, best way to be not racist is to call out other people's racism. But I think in this case, this person was looking for attention and got chose the wrong target. Like really the wrong target. I mean, maybe we should explain to people what's going on here because
Right,
we're
right.
going on for a bunch of minutes and we haven't really explained.
So before you do that, real quick, just so we're being transparent, Preston's a white man who's Dutch. I am somewhat white. I'm Brazilian,
Well,
born
I'm
in Brazil.
American. I'm American. My background is Dutch, but yes.
Whatever, whatever. We're both. He's white. I'm kind of white. I'm white looking, but I have some
Yes.
flavor.
We're,
But just to be transparent.
yes, we're both, cisgendered, heterosexual, white males. Like, yes, okay.
And Preston's a super liberal. Now you guys can't see him, but I can see him on camera, and he has his pussy hat, his giant L cape, and his Hillary 2020 T-shirt. So he's super liberal. I'm also on the left, but not as super on the left. But go ahead. What's going on here?
So George R. R. Martin was one of the hosts at the Hugo Awards,
The what now?
and at the Hugo Awards, the
What
the
do they do?
Hugo Awards are you know the big science fiction award ceremony that happens annually.
Oh, right, right,
Yeah.
right.
In fact, New Zealand Con, the very convention that he was supposed to be at to finish the Winds of Winter before he got to go, was hosting the Hugos this year. So he not only did he miss his deadline, but this other like little thing happened. And so they had him announcing some nominees, and he mispronounced some names of some black nominees, and and he also went on praising an old science fiction writer um, who in his personal life was a racist. Um,
Oh, George.
yeah, um, that science fiction writer was um, John W. Campbell.
Okay.
Now,
What? Continue. I'm sorry.
right now, the thing is there's when you go into the past, like lots of people were racist back
Of
then,
course.
and so it's I mean, he loves Lovecraft. I mean, he is an unabashed fan of H.P. Lovecraft, and Lovecraft, huge fucking racist. Okay, so
Mm,
like, but this is a weird thing, you know. So he was praising this old science fiction writer who happened to be a big old horrible bigot, fascist, racist.
of
Anyway,
course.
yeah. So those are two different issues. Like one, like mispronouncing somebody's name, and then two, praising an artist based on their art, divorced from their personal beliefs in politics. Okay. And then I'd say the third thing of the issue of all of this is George's own politics, which are very much integrated into his writing. He is super, super liberal, much more liberal than me, much more liberal than Carmine, um, has been writing stories with female protagonists, gay protagonists, minority protagonists for years. In the 60s and 70s, he was doing this when he was a struggling writer and it wasn't helping him. And he did it anyway because he felt it was important to have female, gay, and minority protagonists in his story, in his
Hmm.
stories, when no one else was doing this. Um, so it's funny because okay, he mispronounced some names and he praised this old racist science fiction writer, and he gets a lot of crap. And I would say
Not
that
really a
all
lot of crap.
no, but I would say that several, you know, on his Twitter, he posted a little apology. He posted a quote from Voltaire saying, you know, hey, none of us are perfect. I'll pardon your imperfections if you pardon mine. And, you know, dozens, maybe 100 people who are angry about this issue, which I guess is not that many, were like, you know, apology not accepted, George, you know, stuff like that.
So let me get this straight. He mispronounced names. Okay.
Hmm.
I mispronounce names all the time.
Sure,
Um, he
sure.
mispronounced names. He praised the science fiction writer
I
because
mean,
that guy in his personal life was a racist. And what's the
yeah.
third thing exactly? Can you sum it down?
That no, that those are the two. But
That's it. That's
yeah,
he didn't like scream, "I hate," insert racial slur here. He didn't say that.
no,
He
no,
did anyone catch him like killing someone that's not white?
no, no,
No, they didn't. Did we uncover tweets from 10 years ago where he said he hated black people or something?
no.
I failed to see what the purpose of this all even is.
I mean, I think it's one of these things where someone gets to go, haha, this person's doing casual racism. I can write some sort of article or blog post about it, try to get attention. Um, and you know, you're probably you're very much in the wrong. In fact, the original person that did this, that accused him and wrote a long blog post about it, the title of the blog post is George R. R. Martin can fuck off into the sun. That was the title of it. And she misspelled the very people's names that
Oh,
George R. R.
really? Oh,
Martin.
shit.
She misspelled the very names that he mispronounced. Oh, but it's just such what I say is that it just speaks to such like laziness. Like if you read any of George R. R. Martin's stuff, like you know that not only is he not a racist, but he goes out of his way um, to include uh, minority figures and like focus on their oppressed situation and try to sympathize and empathize with them and try to translate that and bring that over to a reader. Like this is a huge part of his writing. Like Jesus Christ, he wrote he wrote an entire novel about that was an allegory to slavery using vampires, and I mean this is Fever Dream, and I mean this is a huge thing. Like he purposely wrote this book because he felt that even though he had minority characters and other things, he felt that he had not properly tackled race and made the proper political statements about it. And he
Hmm.
wrote an entire novel about this issue, about like where Southern racism and those feelings come from, and why people become racists. Um, and that's what Fever Dream is about. Yes, it's about vampires, but vampires are a not at all hidden stand-in for Black people. And well, and they're also the stand-in for, you know, Black people are the stand-in for humans, while vampires are the stand-in for white people. Because many of the vampires in the story want to enslave humans and things like this.